My parents praised the golden child, support him, and when things fall apart, they blamed me for everything. Hello. I hope everyone is having a better day than I have, and please excuse my language, but holy sh*, I literally feel like my parents are driving me up the walls of my 8-foot by 7-foot bedroom. I'm not exactly sure where to start because there's just been way too much over my 20 or so years of living, most of which has unfortunately been with them. I wouldn't say my parents are abusive, at least physically, and there's definitely people who have it worse out there, but I seriously feel like there's no respect given when they expect it on a silver platter. They never take my word for things, always seem to think I'm lazy or over-exaggerating any pain I'm in, and I have a sneaky suspicion that they're gaslighting me, but who am I to know? I'm just the 20-something-year-old kid that's gone through therapy while they're actively refusing it. To get a little sense of myself without giving too much away because they'd totally come across this at some point in their lives and basically cry and point fingers at me for painting them in a bad light. But I'm in my 20s, have been mentally ill for over a decade now, have multiple diagnoses, been to Crisis Stabilization Unit, CSU, a handful of times, have had wellness checks due to running out the door while at risk to myself, basically a manhunt due to the state I was in when I left the house, survived through multiple traumatic events, although mostly non-life-threatening but still traumatic and upsetting. I have moved about 10 times within my short life so far, 5 of which have been out of the bigger city I live in to smaller towns, about 2 to 3 hours from city limits, dealt with abusive and manipulative romantic relationships, an ever-changing friend group because most people my age that I've met have no interest in being mature, don't think about the future and don't care how their actions or words affect others, only themselves. Most people, not all. I have quite a bit of physical health issues, a few diagnoses, have had lots of procedures and tests done, mostly no results, and am almost always in some kind of pain. Don't want to say chronic because there's no diagnosis of that, and half the time my pain is waved off as being dramatic by health professionals, family, and friends alike. For myself personality-wise, I'm not a bullshitter. I don't like lies or dishonesty, has gotten me in trouble more times than it should have, laughing face. A lot of people don't understand why I bring up my trauma, feelings, opinions, or experiences. They just think I'm looking for attention. I do this because I've gone through group therapy, I've gone through the mental health classes, and see a psychiatrist regularly. Your words hold power, insight to things you might have never realized otherwise, give comfort to someone who's going through the ringer, or even inspire others to better themselves. I've been silenced most my life, worried about looking bad or not being attractive enough, thinking others will think I'm stupid or something, and literally silenced because anytime I spoke a word other than to agree, I was punished or screamed at. I'm done silencing myself. In my own mother's words, if the truth hurts, so be it. Obviously, I'm not completely heartless. I won't walk up to someone and say, "You look like shit." That's just uncalled for. I'm a very kind person, generous, incredibly stubborn, opinionated but not so set in it that I'll actively deny or declare something true or false when presented with the facts and evidence. Fiercely loyal has also gotten me in trouble, oopsies. And I do work hard considering what I've been going through. I hate hurting others to the point I will hold it in until I burst, most times ending up hurting them either way. The words I tell myself when I feel down aren't, "I'm not good-looking enough," "I'm not rich or successful enough," "I'm fat or ugly," etc. They're internalized words that I've been told repeatedly by those around me, people who can't seem to realize how hard or painful I have things. Suck it up. Your pain isn't as bad as mine/isn't bad at all. You're being dramatic. Meanwhile, I'm on the floor crying in pain because I can't feel my legs, and my back is on fire. Anytime I even come close to laying flat-backed, I literally can't get up without pain that lasts for the rest of the day, sometimes several days, if I can even get up on my own. The times my back twinges, my legs go numb, and I go crashing to the floor, only to say, "Oh, I'm fine. It's just my back," because I've been made to believe nothing's wrong with my back, that my pain is imaginary. Or, the time I had an infection after I had a procedure done that I started showing symptoms for the day our vacation started, but didn't say anything because we were out of town on holidays, everyone with a license was drunk, ambulance ride is too expensive, and I'm a burden/being dramatic. Obviously not. Everyone was too drunk to realize I slept the entire time and barely ate anything. Also, our vacation was a week long, 7 whole days, and I got in trouble for giving the cold shoulder. Or, the time I thought I was actively dying because I was literally shaking and sweating from the pain, but didn't say anything until 14 hours into it because what if I'm just being paranoid or dramatic? Embarrassed to admit, I wasn't dying. I just had gas so bad I thought something was seriously wrong. Spiraled into the hole, what ifs, and did the worst thing imaginable. Asked Google. and I couldn't pass gas or go to the bathroom for those full 14 hours. But I was in serious pain. Like who knew a backed-up fart bubble could hurt so bad? Completely serious. It rivaled the pain from my 7-day infection that I slept through most of. Don't know how I can fake that kind of pain while also being terrified that I'm dying. But as always, you're being dramatic. Laughing face. Or, whenever I'm asked if I'm tired and I say no, well, why do you look like shit then? Cue in the biggest sigh of my life, I have a migraine. Oh, it's just a headache. Suck it up. You should be at work. This is why you can't keep a job. You're always staying home over the little things. Pop a pill and power through it. I wish I could sigh so big that I literally blow you away with the force. Yes, I would love to power through the pain. If the lights didn't make my head feel like it's going to explode, the smell of whatever is making this worse doesn't make me feel like I'm constantly needing to throw up but can't. If I can even focus on anything with how blurry my eyesight is, not to mention the amount of times I've scared myself shitless because I keep seeing shadows move when no one is home and how my mental capacity is going a mile a minute while my mouth is slower than a snail. Oh, also the fear of pills losing their effects that you instilled into me at a young age, so now I feel guilty or terrified anytime I take pills. But yeah, just pop a pill and power through. Why are you freaking out? The car was closer to me. Why isn't anyone worrying about me? I have anxiety and have almost been hit by cars over a dozen times, not to mention the accidents I've been in while in a vehicle. My panic attack is real. Your whiny words are just begging for attention that you're not getting. You ruined our night out. Thanks. I was having a panic attack because my abusive biological father had contacted me when I told him not to. Oh, and my grandparent is dead. Laughing face. You're so lazy, you don't have a job and are always sitting around. Nope, not lazy. Just in a severe amount of pain / have a 4-day migraine / haven't slept more than 8 hours within the week, averaging 1 to 2 hours a night if I don't pull an all-nighter to make sure I get to all my appointments / job interviews on time, / back hurts so much and gives out so randomly that I don't trust myself to do anything around the house without seriously injuring myself / have been in and out of the bathroom for the last 8 hours, not fun, don't recommend, / haven't worked because of that. Pain / actually have a little side job I work at when I'm not in too much pain, but by no means would be considered stable income, but I'm not doing nothing. You're selfish and abusive. Why is asking for help when I'm in the middle of a breakdown, about to do something harmful to myself, selfish? I'm upset, I'm breaking down, I'm actively not okay, and you're calling me abusive and selfish? You hurt me, I'm the one traumatized by your actions, and you want to twist it around to make everyone believe I attacked you because I was unstable? You're batshit crazy. Why are you calling me crazy? For having emotions, feelings that you never taught me how to deal with, experiences and situations you downplay, and tell me I'm making up? You don't live in my head. You weren't even there. Now instead of dealing with my emotions in a healthy, positive way, I turn inwards and harm myself. I hide things and run away because in your eyes, I'm crazy. I'm fed up to the point that yes, now I'm acting like the crazy person because I'm fed up with your lies about me and constantly being made to feel like a bad person for feeling things and reacting badly in the past. Now I will act badly, not because I can't react differently, but because if you want to make me out to be the monster, I will be the monster all right. I will dig deep and hit hard because it's either you or me at this point, and I'm tired of letting others constantly beat me down. I refused professional help for almost 4 years because I truly thought I was crazy. I didn't want to admit it by going to get help because only crazy people need professional help. This is absolutely not true. It was what I believed due to conditioning and manipulation. Seeking professional help does not make you crazy. It just means you're going through a tough time and need some extra help. It wasn't until I started talking to someone around my age who'd also gone through a lot of shit in his life that the belief of, I'm crazy, turned to, it's okay to need help sometimes. Needing help doesn't make me crazy. It means I'm human. To be honest, if I had never talked to him, I'd still be at square one and thinking that I was crazy. It took me until I was 20 to finally realize that needing help is okay, that it's not being crazy. It took me another 3 years to realize that I don't have issues, mostly. Everyone has an issue with me and is telling me what I need to do. Not giving advice like, I think you should, but, you're crazy, you need to be on meds. If you don't like being this way being something they caused, then you have to take meds. I don't have to take meds because the issues you see aren't real issues. I don't have an issue with it, you're telling me that I do. I'm not abusive, I've gone through shit and I'm healing. I wasn't taught how to express myself in healthy ways. I was taught that when you don't feel good, you hurt others. I'm not abusive because I will take 99 horrible things you say and then break on that last one. Then the monster comes out. Then the abuser comes out, which really is brought on by your constant negativity. People really don't understand that when I say I absolutely loathe myself, that it's not because of being in a shitty place in life. It's because of how shitty I've been made to feel anytime I speak up about any mistreatment towards me. I've been made out to be the bad guy. I'm the crazy one. I'm the abuser. I'm the problem. Because it's never them, is it? The more I go through this, the more I think I have a lot of narcissistic people in my life, and am totally being manipulated, but was told all the time that I had a good childhood and shouldn't complain about that fact, when it really wasn't a good childhood. Not the worst, but not the best either. So, the question is, what caused me to snap tonight? Well, I'm a little embarrassed to say that apparently dishes are going missing, and my parents are going to be searching our rooms if the dishes are not returned by tomorrow afternoon. Honestly, there's been more going on. This is just the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm over 20 years old. I'm not a child. I'm stuffed into a tiny 7-foot by 8-foot room with barely enough room for my things. Most of my stuff is in storage. I can't enjoy all the things I like to do because it's all in storage. I do get claustrophobic at times, sensory overloads and all. I do have bad anxiety and panic attacks brought on by feeling stuck, trapped, or having something taken from me. Couldn't think of why I'd have that specific fear. Not at all. Not at all. My room is so small and so cramped that I have to crawl/stand on my bed to get out of it. It's on the floor with a box spring. I don't even have a bed frame. My room keeps an inconsistent temperature. I deal with hot flashes and suddenly feeling cold due to poor blood circulation. Feeling too hot can and will cause a migraine. I'm made to feel bad if I spend too much time in the shared living room. If I get upset that the bathroom is disgusting, it's not my siblings' fault, apparently, even though it's been a complaint I've had for over 15 years and they've been hounded about it since 15 years ago. Not their fault. Not at all. I'm made to feel bad for getting overwhelmed and snapping, sensory overload/anxiety, while everyone else can snap at me and I have to keep my mouth shut about it, or else a huge fight will ensue. I get blamed for things that I've never done or have ever done. A certain object was left in the bathroom, an object I don't even use. But blame was automatically put on me before even asking me if the object was mine. Also, I was never told what said object was, so I'm just putting 2 and 2 together here based on how the convo went and how disgusted my parents seemed. Was literally blamed for an object that they actively refused to name. When I get a talking to, I'm never allowed to speak until they're done. So I basically get in shit/berated for something I either didn't do or had a specific and very valid reason for doing. Anytime I try to talk, I get talked over until there's no point in me talking unless I'm yelling. But me yelling turns into them yelling, turns to screaming, turns to me trying to escape because I've been pushed to my limit and I will have a meltdown. All while they're still screaming at me as I try to get some space. I do something. It's the end of the world. Anyone else does something in the house, then a million excuses are being made for them. More so for one of my siblings since they're also mentally ill. But I'm mentally ill, yet their issues trump mine, I guess? My issues aren't as bad? My issues don't matter? Who knows? Because no one will tell me what's going on or why there's excuses being made for someone that also has mental health issues, but I'm not getting the same treatment. Yes, this sibling is also an adult. The few reasons I can think of on why they do this is that I'm the eldest, I was the test baby, so they're doing better for my siblings. Except it isn't better, because no one talks about their feelings. My siblings literally feel like shit anytime they try to express themselves, apologize for bringing up something that hurt them, apologizing profusely in general, and both have history of harmful behaviors. But no, they've done better for my siblings. Another reason I can think of is that they have stupidly high expectations of me. Apparently I'm the one going to university in their eyes. None of my siblings, even though one does really want to go to university, but they don't need to. Basically saying they're not smart enough, because they're always saying that I got perfect grades in school when I didn't. They put so much pressure on me that when I failed my first and only class ever, I spiraled into a 4-month depression and almost doomed myself not to graduate with my peers. But yeah, I'm the one that can handle the stress of university. I passed that year with 60s, not sure what that equates to in like A, B, or C, when normally my grades are in the high 80s. Definitely not as good as they make it seem since my siblings did get some good grades, one even getting a few grades higher than I did. The only other reason I can think of is I'm not biologically related to my stepdad, while my siblings are. Summed up version is that I've never felt like a part of the family. There's always been kind of an emphasis on my stepdad's last name, one I don't share with him, but everyone else in my immediate family does. Emphasis on the fact that since I don't share his DNA, there's nothing wrong with me. That I'm not a concern mentally. Only for years later, actually almost 10 years, I'm royally fucked up. And not in like a self-deprecating way. I'm literally traumatized and have mental health diagnoses that probably could have been prevented if I was taken seriously when I was younger. I wasn't socially anxious. I was stubborn and shy. I wasn't having panic attacks while talking in class. I was being difficult. The bullying wasn't that bad. Meanwhile, death threats are being thrown and I'm being labeled as easy. If people catch my drift. I wasn't easy. I was just plain taken advantage of. And everything got downplayed. Everything wasn't a big deal. Because when my sibling was being bullied, there were meetings, there were talks to the other kids' parents, principal was involved, teachers involved. But nothing for me. I'm just being dramatic. All these things combined is making me feel that if I wasn't batshit crazy before, I'm sure as hell gonna be soon. I feel so frustrated, angry, unloved, unwanted, disrespected, lied to, manipulated, useless, hopeless. I'm tired. I'm just plain tired of all this. My parents claim to have changed from 6 years ago, when the only thing that's changed is the volume of their voices. They're still exactly the same, still say the same things, still end up yelling anyways whenever there's a talk, because I'm the one with the problem. I'm the one being disrespectful, rude, and have an attitude. All because I'm finally standing up for myself. I have moved out, back in, back out, back in so many times that I know. They haven't changed. They won't even acknowledge there's issues. It's only me that has issues. I'm the one that needs to go to therapy. I'm the one that needs to be on meds. I'm the one that needs to be sent to a psych ward. I'm the one that just can't get a fucking break. I'm tired of this. I really am. I love my family. I really do. I'm grateful for the things they have done for me, but I'd be lying if I said they did more good than bad. They've helped me out when I was actively wanting to disappear, but the trauma I received while in their homes honestly feels like I'm worse than when I started accepting that I had problems 6 years ago. Back then, it was just anxiety, depression, and trauma from the first 15 or so years of my life. Now it's so much more, serious diagnoses that could be debilitating, psychosis, dissociation, serious trauma, all because they won't change. I did not start off broken down. They beat me down and down and down, and still choose to beat me down. I am done. I am tired. I just want a freaking break that'll never come from them. Also, just as a clarification, not actively wanting to disappear. Just really done with people's abuse and mistreatment. And nothing physical anymore. Hope everyone has better days tomorrow. Laughing face, laughing face.